The Morning Show from your local news leader.
All right, it's time for Friday Flicks, and today a challenging but rewarding dramedy and the best horror film of the year are available for viewing this weekend.
We hope to deliver, so here to review Amsterdam and Smile is film critic Chuck Koplinski. And Chuck, if you don't mind, Smile, that's the one that's got me kind of on an eerie feel this morning.
All right, well, let's go with that one then. You know, I love horror films when they're done right, and so many of them are done wrong. And that's what gives them a bad reputation. But Smile is done right, and it's because it's one of the great horror films that isn't about a vampire or a zombie or a monster. It's about something else. It's about something that speaks to many of us. And there you see a young lady by the name of Susie Bacon, the actress. I don't know her.
Karina ain't seen it.
I don't know this actress, but she's very good. She plays a therapist there, and there you see a patient come in who has committed suicide in front of her. And the patient claimed that she is seeing people who are smiling at her and mean her harm. No one else can see that. But because she's committed suicide in front of this therapist, now she's experiencing this as well, and she's not quite sure what's going on. But she does some investigations, and she realizes this is a series of things, that there have been a series of people who have committed suicide and have been seeing these things. What this movie is about denial. Have you ever put on that smile on your face and you're not really all that happy when someone asks you, how are you? And you say, I'm fine, but you're not? That's what this movie is about. This movie is about a woman who experiences an awful trauma when she is a child, and it's something that she's never dealt with. She's never talked to anyone about it. She's never gotten any help about it, and now it's coming back to haunt her. This movie is so effective because, as you can tell from just the clips here, the mood that it creates, but also the fact that it's just so smart. We do eventually see a monster because that's what you have to give horror fans, but that's a metaphor. That's a metaphor for the guilt that this woman is carrying around, for the pain that she's carrying around that she has not dealt with. And again, think of how many of us, how many people in society are dealing with that. And it also talks about the mental health crisis in this country. There are so many people in this film who don't get the help they need, either through financial reasons or because of that stigma that's still there about getting help for these problems. This one shook me up, and I have thought about it every day since I have seen it again. It's one of those great monster films or horror films that has that great subtext, that metaphor that speaks to a real-life problem, and those are the types of horror films I love. Really like this one.
Yeah, when those horror films go this route, it's way scarier than any slasher movie, Freddy Krueger, or anything like that.
It's inside you, and yep, it's all over.
So how can we view Smile?
You have to go to theaters for this one, and that's fine. This is one you should probably see with the crowd anyway.
Don't want to go alone. Even that poster itself is
the poster's best.
Yeah, it's simple, but boy, is it effective.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
All right, so we will maybe lighten the mood a little bit with Amsterdam.
You're definitely going to lighten the mood with Amsterdam, and this is a movie that other critics have been slamming, and I just want to say, did you see another movie? Did you see a different movie than I did? Because I don't know what you're talking about. People have been complaining, oh, this is so difficult to follow. Well, you know, buck up and follow this thing. I'm tired of all these simple movies that we get, and Amsterdam challenges you, and it has the best cast that you will see in any film this year. There you saw Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, and John David Washington. They are three friends who met during World War I. They were soldiers, and she was the nurse who took care of them, and they form a bond that cannot be shaken, though it is threatened 20 years later in New York when the two men are accused of a murder they did not commit. And the whole movie is about them trying to clear their name. And as they're doing this, well, they encounter one eccentric person after another, and we see one great actor and actress pop up after another as we meet all these people. There you see Rami Malek, Anya Taylor-Joy. And yeah, he had an eye injury during World War I. It gets knocked out repeatedly. There you see Timothy Oliphant. You also saw Alessandra Nivola. You also see Taylor Swift in there. She has a brief appearance and does a great job. And Robert De Niro pops up too. He plays a general who has been approached by a far-right extremist group about overthrowing the government. And that part of the film is based on a true story, which I did not know about and did some reading about afterward. Absolutely fascinating. What's really interesting, or the through line of this film, is friendship, camaraderie, and compassion. These three take care of each other no matter what, and these three also take care of veterans no matter what. And that's the theme of this film, is really sticking together, watching out for one another no matter what it takes. And again, another call for veteran care. a problem that we still seem to not have a handle on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, have to see this one in theaters. Oh, there's Mike Myers. Again, people just coming out of the woodwork on this one. You have to see this one in theaters, but well worth it. Really enjoyed it.
All right,
So
some
two good
strong
ones.
messages with the movies today.
Yep.
Yeah.